Hey there guys, Next Gen Strike here back again for another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing Thor the Dark World, or Thor 2, whichever one you want to call it. So yeah, I just saw this movie yesterday, Saturday, and saw it with my girlfriend, and we both generally really liked the movie, but I'll just hit on the things I liked, what I didn't like, blah blah blah. So, I think the beginning, the build up to the movie was kind of boring because it was just explaining this new alien race that we'd never seen before in any of the Marvel stuff. So it's like, okay, gotta explain that, and whatever. So I wasn't enjoying the film too much at the beginning, but once Asgard gets invaded, then that's when it gets really interesting. So the first like big battle of the movie, that's when stuff starts really heating up. And after that, there's some shocking moments in the movie. There's some like really epic moments, and overall, I really liked it. It really built up for me, and I really thought it was a worthwhile movie. Definitely one of the better Marvel movies to come out. For me, Marvel, their movies are hit or miss. They're either really good, or at least somewhat good, enjoyable, or they're just really not that interesting to me, boring, or they suck or whatever, so it's definitely the best Marvel movie to come out since, I'd say, Avengers. So yeah, it's definitely up there as one of the better ones that they've made. And Loki was really good in this movie. Now, up until this point, I didn't really care too much for Loki. It's not that I didn't like him, but it's like, okay, yeah, Loki, okay. And in Avengers, I didn't think he was that great of a threat, but I did like him. But in this movie, I don't know, I just like really, really liked him in this movie. I thought this was probably his best that he's done in all three of his appearances in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I really liked him. And just the stuff he does is just like crazy. I like his magic power of trickery and all this stuff. And, that also leads up for some pretty funny moments. There's a funny quote unquote cameo in this movie I really liked. And some of the comedy is really funny. I think actually Thor is probably the funniest of all of the Marvel movies, if we're not counting Avengers, because Avengers is kind of like all of them put together. But as the individuals, I would say Thor is probably the funniest. I know some people say like, oh, Iron Man's the funniest. No, to me, Thor's been the funniest just because of the way they do the Asgard human humor, how it kind of contrasts, and I think that's really great. So yeah, overall, I thought the plot was really good. And I won't go into any spoilers until the end, so I'll warn you of that if you haven't seen the movie yet. But as far as the supporting cast, I would say most of them are pretty good. I thought the Doctor was very strange for the most part in this movie. I know the explanation was that, Loki had been in his head messing with it, now he's kind of crazy, but I don't know, that was just kind of weird, kind of out there. And then that one girl, I don't remember her name, I think it's Darcy. It's the one with the glasses. She acts kind of weird. She's Jade's friend. I just don't like her character that much. I'm sorry, I just don't. She's like the weak link. Her and the intern, I just didn't really care for that much. But they did have some. Well, the intern had some good comedic moments, I'd say. So yeah, overall that was pretty good. And I'm trying to think of anything else. Okay, the romance was a lot better, I would say, because in Thor 1, the romance was just kind of like slapped together really fast. So yeah, I'd say it was fairly good. Now, this wasn't like a monumental like Dark Knight movie or anything, and what I mean by that is it just wasn't like a epic, like, oh my gosh, like I want to sit here and this is one of my favorite movies ever made. It's not like that, but it's definitely a really good movie. So yeah, it's definitely above average. It's not perfect. It's not like super amazing, film breaking, whatever, but it's definitely a good movie. So now I guess I'll briefly go over spoilers. So the rest of this will be spoilers. So basically what I say to you that haven't seen it, go see it. It's really good. And for those of you that haven't, yeah, let's stick around and talk about that a little bit. So spoiler wise, what I have to say about Thor 2 is I really liked the two death scenes in the film. I thought both were surprising and both were definitely heart-wrenching. Like, you really felt the death of Loki and the death of Thor's mother. I thought that was just like really horrible. And of course, Loki survived at the end. I figured he would because actually I was I saw this one part where it was like the guard looked up at Odin and he kind of smiled a little bit, and then I looked over at my girlfriend's like, yeah, that's Loki, he's alive. She's like, how do you know that? It's like, yeah, it's totally him. And then at the very end, of course, it's him. And then she's like, oh wait, does that mean the king says? Like, I don't know. I guess that's for Thor 3. But yeah, that was, I like that. Loki really made this movie awesome. I mean, he did a great job. I thought he would just be like a sideline character, and they're just kind of using him because a lot of fangirls kind of fangasm over him, but overall, I thought it was used very well in the movie, and I liked his, Captain America thing. Like I said, I thought that was hilarious. And let's see what else. I like the part where it seems like Loki betrays Thor and then cuts his hand off. And then I was following that about halfway through, and I was like, I doubt Thor would be without both his hands. So I think this is fake, and it ended up being fake. But overall, yeah, the movie was pretty unpredictable. It was pretty good. I'd say the only thing I really didn't like at the end was the way that they killed the alien guy, because I don't know if it's just me, maybe I wasn't paying attention enough to the movie, but I don't really recall them explaining how those little devices they used made things teleport and create alternate, go to a different dimension or different planet or whatever. I don't know how that really happened. I guess it's just because the alignment of the worlds was causing physics to get all messed up or whatever, and it could detect anomalies, but then they were saying, it can't cause them, but it kind of did somehow with that device they had. So I don't know how that works. Oh, maybe they explained it and I just didn't pay attention enough, but even if they did, I just think that was a really crappy way to kill the villain, because they built him up to be this really strong guy who just like could smack the hammer around and everything. So yeah, I wanted to see Thor just like go all out, like almost be a near death battle, and then him actually beat him. But that wasn't the case. That kind of sucked. But whatever. And then the movie had two endings. I think the first ending was really good because that kind of built up to a sequel or maybe Avengers. But the other ending was just kind of weird. I don't even understand why these were after credit scenes, because really they should have just been at the end of the film, if you ask me. At least the last one, because that was just kind of a weird way to end the movie. But whatever. And I think that's really all I had to say. I think as far as other Marvel movies I'm looking forward to, aside from Avengers 2, X-Men Days of Future Past looks really cool. Can't wait to see that. And the other one I really look forward to would probably be Captain America. What's it? Winter Soldier? Yeah, Winter Soldier. That actually looked really good. I didn't really care for the first one that much, but it looks really interesting, and it's going to have all the S.H.I.E.L.D. people in it. So, yeah, I think that might be a pretty good movie. So, yeah, I hope you guys liked my review. Thumbs up, comment, whatever, and I will catch you guys later.